Here we are on the second What the Film podcast on filmsgonewild.com. My name is John Wildman. I'm here with my wife, Justine Walford. I'm the editor-in-chief of Films Gone Wild, and she's the managing editor. So there are other reasons other than the fact that we're just married and just like talking to each other that we're doing this. All righty. So reviews on the first show. People thought that my hair should have its own show, and maybe a pirate show. I don't know what that means. And somebody really, really wants me to be Lou Diamond Phillips, or thinks that I am because of
You
the
are.
way.
Yes.
And then people thought that you won, like it was a competition, like you stole the show, which I find deeply hurtful. Okay. All right. So there you go. That's what the assessment, I guess, various assessments were.
Well, it's not a competition, but since I won, it's kind of a competition.
Oh, look how you're fighting it. Okay. The first thing we want to talk about, somebody suggested, they asked about this, was whether or not Sundance is actually a thing anymore, so to speak.
Is it worth the submission? Which I think is key. Is it worth submitting to? Because I feel like the answer is Sundance is worth screening at, but that's different than submitting.
Yeah, and it is. I think you're right. It's a key distinction, because it's it is not a Discovery Film Festival anymore. It just isn't. Hasn't been for quite a while. Your Discovery Film Festivals are the regional film festivals, because if you play at Sundance, that means you have an alumni. You've got people that have already played at Sundance, or producers that have already had films at Sundance. It's chock full of alumni, chock full of stuff that's been developed in the Sundance labs, or that's been, steamrolled through by people like John Sloss and the Braun brothers at Submarine and people like that. But just on a straight submission, if you are, have never been there and don't know anybody, and you're just like hinging out on the film itself, it can still happen. But it's a super rarity. Yeah.
And I think that's why it's really key to find the new festivals that don't, because every festival, even regional festivals, at some point do fill up with alumni as they get older and older.
Right.
If you're an early filmmaker, if you're in the early stages of your filmmaking career, find a film festival in the same stages to.
I will say this, that people of color, female filmmakers, filmmakers with disabilities, they have a little bit more of a chance finally to actually get some consideration, both at Sundance and other fests, because there are literally programs to really push that forward, which is late to the party, extremely late to the party, but at least finally they're doing something along those lines. So, again, a long way to go, but there's at least a little bit more hope along those, they've been making some inroads, I think. And also the change of people in charge, the changes, both in the programming at the very top, I think that has helped out a lot. That there's some people that are considering some, trying to do some stuff in a new way. So, Sundance is still great, but it's just, again, it's still not a Discovery Film Festival. It just is not.
Right.
Okay. All right. That's one.
But if you do want to know which film festivals are worth the submission fee, there are lists. Movie Maker being the most famous one.
Yeah. You have the 50 film festivals worth the submission fee. You've got like the 25 coolest film festivals. Movie Maker is fantastic with those lists. Filmmaker does a list too. Filmmaker magazine, I think so. I don't know. I don't remember off the top of my head, because I didn't prepare for that, because you just threw that out there. You want to talk about TikTok, because you're all about the TikTok.
New cinema.
Yeah, well, you call it new cinema. I just see TikTok. I don't know what. So go ahead.
New cinema, like what? It's not a form. Maybe we should skip this one because it's not really formulated in my head yet. But I know that what we are now, our brains are like turning into, is not a 2 hours in a movie theater. It's gotten shorter and shorter and shorter. So now it's like laying in bed and scrolling through a feed of 1 minute films.
Uh-huh.
But when I go on TikTok, there are certain creators who create 1 minute films, getting middle and end, tension, pacing, great production value. And then they make series. It's pretty pretty amazing what they're able to do. And I feel like now the new storytelling, because when we were kids, we would go see, you know, a double feature. We had the attention span to see a double feature and go home and read a book. And that's changed.
Did you just segue into it's about the kids today?
It is about the kids today.
It's a
Because it
kid
is about the
today.
kids today. The kids know the rules.
And now every episode you're going to go back to rules and
Yeah,
regulations.
probably.
See, I mean, the only TikTok stuff I see is what you send me, and more often than not, they have animals in them. They have dogs and cats.
It's my love language.
So so I'm all about that because I love the ones you send me because they're adorable kittens and puppies, and I love the puppers.
I've sent you storytelling ones too. Have I sent you the one where the woman, it's me and me, so it's her talking to her, but there's naive her, and then there's like her who gets how dark the world is, and so like naive me, like walks in the room and is either like singing a nursery rhyme or an old song or like a fairy tale, and cynical me goes like, "Oh, me, don't you know what that means, or don't you know the history of that?" And then goes into this exceptionally morbid explanation to the history of the nursery rhyme. And because she is an actress, naive me cries every time. Naive me figures it out, realizes it, and then just tears go down her face because she realizes how horrible the world is. It's so great.
Wow, you're adorable. Okay, no, I have not seen that one. I just see the ones with the puppers and the kittens.
I don't know how to turn that into a film festival presentation. Like, how do you, like?
I think you'd have to curate it, and put them together in like a little mini short film program, and do like Justina's favorite TikToks of 2021.
I'm doing it.
All right,
like an art installation. So there's like TikToks that are on loops, like accounts that are just loops that you just walk through the room and you.
Okay, I love finishing this with something that's constructive and helpful for filmmakers. And I just saw the Woodstock Film Festival announced its inaugural filmmakers residency / incubator program in collaboration with White Feather Farm Foundation. So this is all through this month at White Feather Farms residential property in Woodstock. And so they've got 4 filmmakers of diverse and underrepresented backgrounds who are in the middle of projects, developing and what have you. And they've got, and so they're going to stay at this cool ass house up there in upstate New York, up in Woodstock. Mira Blaustein came up with this, I guess, the great co-founder and executive director of Woodstock. I've never been up to Woodstock. I came we were talking about maybe me coming on as a publicist a few years back, and it didn't happen because the timing, it conflicted with other film festivals. I always thought they were super awesome, and it sucked that I couldn't do it because they always get big, nice, cool ass stars up there. Anyway, the mentors include Mira Nair. I always say her name. Mira Nair, right? Julie Anderson, Maddie Rich, Pamela Yates, and Paco Dionis. And then the filmmakers, the first 4, Eunice Lau, Seth Hernandez Ronquillo, and I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry. Brooke Pepion Swaney and Maba Ba. It's just, I can never get tired of waving the banner whenever a film festival or film organization does that. Because it's just like, I think about it, like, when I was, 20 something, and these are older filmmakers than that, but how big a deal would have that been, to
Can we still do that? Can we? Oh, wait, hold on. Because it's a
Mira Nair.
Mira Nair.
Mira Nair. Okay. I'm sorry, Mira, that I butchered it initially. Anyway, I just think it's really cool. So awesome Woodstock Film Festival.
Did I ever tell you that I've always wanted to do a retreat, a filmmaker retreat or a writer's retreat at the Clown Motel?
Yes, I remember that. I
still want to do that.
I want to do it here at Idlewild Manor. I mean, after we, we do some more updating of our tiny houses and stuff. Wouldn't that be kind of cool when we get chickens back here? Like people could come on the farm, and the office will be an editing bay by that point.
Our dogs will be so distracting.
Well, yeah, but they're adorable. Puppers.
That's
Okay.
true.
All right. I think that's the second episode. I know you're going to edit the hell out of this, but there you go.